Well, good afternoon, my stitchy friends. I'm finally getting around to doing this. It's been a little hectic, so welcome to take 2 today of recording this video. First of all, I want to say welcome to the NeedleBugg. My name is Karen. To all the new subscribers, which there have been quite a few over the last month, thank you so very, very much for checking out the channel. And I hope you find some things here that you like and that you will stick around and hang out with me, because you never quite know what you're going to find here. Channel is mostly about cross stitch, but I also talk about other needle arts. I talk about hard hanger. I talk about some different lace techniques that I'm trying to teach myself. So you never quite know what you're going to find. So please come back often. It is great to have so many new subscribers, and I thank you all for that. And to all my returning friends, oh my heavens, thank you so much. I so appreciate each and every one of you for coming back time after time, hanging out with me, and of course, never know what you're gonna find. So today we are going to, well, I did kind of start it without you. Sorry. Not sorry. Today we're going to begin again the journey on Montmartra. There goes the phone again. Montmartra Spring, and it is a lush pin design. I am going to apologize right away for what you just saw. For some reason, my phone keeps disconnecting and reconnecting right away. I do not know what's causing it. I have not been able to figure it out. So apologies. It is probably going to happen throughout the video. And hopefully I'll get it figured out at some point in time. Hopefully not too many videos down the road. But anyway. Some of you are saying, wait a minute, Karen, wait a minute. You already started this. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You are absolutely correct. This is a restart. Go ahead, say it. I hear you. I can hear you all now going, uh-huh. Not a surprise. Not a surprise at all. You should expect these things by now, ladies and gentlemen. But this is a restart. What I did is I am not going to do the whole design, which was, if I am remembering correctly, somewhere in the neighborhood of 625 stitches wide by 814 or something to that effect high. So it was and can be humongous. Well, at the ripe old age, see, it keeps doing it. At the ripe old age of what I am, I do not see my ability to complete a picture that is that large. This is going to make me crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. There. Let's see if that does help. Maybe that fixed it. I don't know. We're going to try. I don't know. I'm not touching it. I don't know what's doing it. I turned off all notifications. I put it on Do Not Disturb, and it still keeps doing that. So we shall see. Anyway, I do not feel like I would be able. Okay, can I live long enough to do a picture that large? Stitcher's Retreat took me 5 years. This is bigger yet. Now, we all hope that that would be the case. However, there are other things that Karen would like to stitch. And not just spend all her time on just this one. So, what I did is I cropped this down to about 300-ish, and a little better than 300, somewhere around 310 stitches wide by 478 stitches high. So essentially, see if I can show you a picture of how I'm gonna try and lift this up and show you. I'm gonna try and put it under here. Essentially, I cropped it down to about that size. So I took a lot of the buildings off. I took 2 pages off on each side. I took some off the bottom and some off the top. So you still get the essence of the design. You just don't get all that other stuff on each side. So I'm really just doing the central portion, which will make me perfectly happy. And I foresee that to be far more doable because that cuts it down to just under 150,000 stitches, as opposed to, I want to say it was up to close to 400,000. It was an ungodly large amount. So I have cut it back. So what I thought I was going, what I'm going to do is record the journey. Yeah, record the journey. So anyone who wants to stitch along with me, and I will say I am stitching this with another stitchy friend. Hello, Paula, if you're watching. She's going to do the whole thing, however. But then she's a lot younger than I am. So, oh, look, I'm backwards. Hold on. Hold on. What the heck? Oh my, oh my, oh my. Here we go. Flip it. No, now it's upside down. Hold on. Oh, I thought I had this all fixed. Oh, I tell you what. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. There we go. There we go. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. It has been a while, I will tell you that. It has been, oh man, I think it's been close, it's been pushing a month since I recorded. Things have been busy. Things have been very busy. I was, let's see. I should have my calendar in front of me so I can remember everything. I was at Camp One-A-Stitch in Ocean City, Maryland, the beginning of January. Camp One-A-Stitch is sponsored by the Mid-Atlantic region of the Embroiderers Guild of America, of which I am a member at large. So a member at large means that you are a member of the guild, the national guild, the big umbrella. However, you don't belong to a specific chapter. And I did not join a chapter, but because they're quite a distance from where I live. And to get to a meeting was going to be quite a drive. I mean, I live, easiest way to explain it is in Pennsylvania, and I'm about halfway between Reading and Harrisburg. And there is a guild. The closest one to me is Molly Pitcher Stitchers, which is in Carlisle, which is west yet of Harrisburg. And it's a significant drive, and I'm thinking I would have to go up the turnpike or up one of the major interstates to get there. And I just don't do that kind of driving anymore. It makes me too nervous. So that's why I joined at large. However, we met some lovely, lovely people at the retreat, and it just so happens that, well, I should say at many years ago, there was a chapter right here that I started. It was the Pennsylvania Heartland chapter. And I am the founder of that chapter. However, I had to resign and go back to work because I did have a shop back in the day, and it just wasn't generating enough income for me to continue to stay home and not work outside the home. So I don't mean to keep turning away from you, but my chart's over here. So I had to resign my presidency, and I went back to work as a nurse. And I really didn't get to the opportunity to go to the meetings because I worked evening shift. And of course, all the meetings were in the evening. But at any rate, where was I going with that? Well, that's why there is no chapter here anymore, and the one that I would have to go to is a significant distance away. However, we met some lovely ladies, and I ran into some of the people that were original charter members of the chapter of the guild that I had started many years ago, plus some new people that are in the Molly Pitcher Stitchers. And let's see, Country Stitchers were there. Liz and Deb were at the retreat. As I said, some people that I knew from back in the day. So I did decide that I would join a chapter and become a chapter member and drop my member at large. So I'm just waiting on details of how to do that. I'm expecting an email at any point now, which is fine. So I have an option, and I can join Molly Pitcher Stitchers as my primary guild. But the other thing is, you can be a plural member of as many guilds as you want. So I could have one guild as, say, call it the home base, and then join as many other guilds as I felt like I wanted to do. There went the camera again. Sorry. And circumstances happened at the retreat, to me, I didn't feel like it was a big deal. It had to do with where there was a group of us that met up there. Barb and I met two other people that we know from other stitching events, and we wanted to sit together because we don't see them that often. Well, there was a bit of a kerfluffle on day 2 about seating, which, it happens. It happens. And I said, well, if we have to split up, we have to split up. I said, what do you go to a retreat for? You go to a retreat to meet other new people. So, as it turned out, there were several lovely, lovely ladies that were at a table and they had space at theirs. So they came over to the friends that Barb and I were with and said, why don't you come and sit at our table? Which was just a pure joy. We had such a good time. Such a very, very good time. So I thank each and every one of them for having us at their table. And I think we made some lasting friendships as a result of that. Or I should speak for myself. I made some lasting friendship as a result of that. And I think what I'm going to do is, their guild is the Lamplighters. I'm just making sure I didn't make a goof here. Their guild is the Lamplighters, which is in Delaware. However, what is really attractive for me about that group is the fact that their meetings are on Zoom. So you don't have to travel at all to attend their meeting. Now, you miss out, like if they stay after a meeting and sit and stitch together for a while, but maybe they keep the Zoom room going for that. But that remains to be seen. But I really, really like the fact that you could attend their meetings as a Zoom meeting and be very much a part of the group and not have to travel. So my plan is to join the Lamplighters as I don't know I guess I would call it my primary guild, and then join Molly Pitcher Stitchers as a plural member. Because the Mollies do a lot of the educational programs of, okay, let's learn this stitch or let's learn this technique. So they do a lot of that sort of thing, which also is very tempting. Because right now, as you all know, anything new, I'm teaching myself how to do it and hoping I'm not botching it up terribly, which I can do quite easily. But as I said, we had a fabulous, fabulous time. We were fortunate enough to meet and have a grand time with the other ladies at our table. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. So we came home from there, and then I just had a busy time. And it was like, if I have to look back and say what I did, I can't tell you exactly what I did. It just felt like I was always busy trying to do some, or doing something between, appointments and grocery shopping and this, that, and the other thing. It was like, oh, Karen, you need to record a video. You need to record a video. You need to do this. Well, and then I was on, and I'll mention this here, I was on Zoom a few times with subscribers. So, any of you subscribers that are interested in Zoom meetups, or just to be a part of a group that is a part of a Facebook group that is more or less a offshoot of my channel, because I do encourage people that want to join the Facebook group to be subscribers of the channel. You can join that group. It's called NeedleBugg Family. It should be searchable. You should be able to find it. You put in a request to join. Now, I will say, if you do not answer the questions, you will not be admitted to the group. You must answer the questions. And that is just a means of trying to keep it safe for everybody that wants to join. Everyone that is a channel subscriber is welcome. There will be postings of when the Zoom is open. Right at this point, I'm doing scheduled times, but if things continue to go as things are going, then I will open it up so that people can use it at their leisure. But I will still have times where I will be scheduled to be on, for sure be on, and available to help anybody with their projects or answer questions or whatever. Or just to sit and chat and have a nice time. Sorry, looking for another color. And my color cards are in such logical order here. It's disgusting. They're just on a pile. Yes, so if you're interested, go on Facebook, search NeedleBugg Family, and ask to join. But as I said, remember, you need to answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions, you will be denied. So that will be that. So like I said, I have been on Zoom with those people. And again, well, that kind of cuts into recording time a little bit, but it's okay. It's all okay. It all comes out in the wash at some point or another. So that's been that. And okay, then we went to see the grandkids, of course, because I hadn't seen them. I was gone for 5 days at the retreat. So, and that was over a weekend when we normally go to see the grandkids. So, had to catch up with them, which is always nice. But I did come home. Oh, see, my poor kitties. I did come home to 2 sick cats. my husband was really pretty glad when I did get home, because he said, oh, he was, while I was gone, the cats were throwing up and had diarrhea. Not a good situation. So he was doing a lot of cleaning up because of it, because certainly they didn't always, well, for the diarrhea, they did pretty much go in the litter box. But for the vomiting, um, he never quite knew where he was going to find that. So he, was doing a fair bit of cleaning up the floor. We still can't figure out exactly what it was, whether they had a bit of a virus, which very well could have been, but we didn't know where they would have gotten that, because they don't go outside. They've never gone outside. I don't think they ever felt grass on their feet, to tell you the truth. I thought maybe, because I've been finding them since I'm home, we call them stink bugs. I don't know that they have another name, but we call them stink bugs. They have been finding their way. I need my other glasses. They've been finding their way into the house with all this cold weather. So my thought was, did they eat one of them? Which could very well have made them not feel so great. Okay, Karen, you looked away. Now you've lost your place. Oh, okay, here it is. Somehow you did something wrong here. So we didn't know if it was that. Plus, the other thing we didn't know, or I'm kind of assuming that maybe it was some separation anxiety. Because we're here with these guys like all the time. It is rare that. Okay, I'm back. I have no idea where I was at. For some reason, the whole thing just froze up. Oh, would this be a video without some kind of technical issues? So we're going to continue on. I'm going to splice them back together and hope this continues to work for the rest of the video. But I don't remember what I was talking about. I have no idea. Just the fact that it just felt like it was just busy since I'm home from the shore. I know I was telling you about my kitties that were not feeling well when I got home. However, even though they may have been ill from something, although we've yet to determine exactly what it was, because they don't go outside. They've never been outside. So no one has been here that's been sick that they would have gotten a virus, at least that I would know of. So I was kind of leaning towards, for some reason, what the heck? I feel a knot of something back there. Oh God, I've got to do the little froggy thing. For some reason, I think it's because of the cold. The stink bugs have been finding their way into the house somehow, some way. And I don't know if maybe they kind of played with one and then ate it, and if that made them sick. But I also think separation anxiety might have played a part in it, because we are 99% of the time always home, with a few exceptions of, you know, routine appointments or doctor visits or something of that effect. But we're never really gone for any large length of time. And I was gone for 5 days, which is a not normal amount of time for me to be out of the house. Hold on, I gotta flip here. Oops. Okay, it's still over there yet. Now, it could just have been coincidental, but it did seem as if after I got home, they were on the road to recovery. One more. I hate when I get these crazy knots. And yes, I do rip for them. So they were getting better, and by Saturday, they seemed, I mean, we cut back on the amount of food they were eating, thinking, okay, were they gulping food and then getting sick? At first, they weren't eating hardly at all. So, we went and bought other food, but then, well, they didn't want that either, and they went back to the food that they were always eating. So we did a bunch of things to try and fix it before we would call the vet. Had it gone another day or two, we would have. Well, then on Sunday, we went down to the grandkids to see them, to come home to one of them had vomited. So we thought, oh, good Lord, here we go again. We're home now ever since then. Now they are totally back to normal, totally eating just exactly fine. In fact, I had cut the amount that we have an automatic feeder, and I had cut it back, the amount of servings they got at a time, to the point where now they're hungry, and I need to, well, I just did up it a little bit. I'm just upping it slowly so that I can make sure that they tolerate it. But now they're back to their old selves. So it's like, okay, maybe it was a bit of separation anxiety. Because let me tell you what, they're not spoiled. Not much. Not much. They are totally spoiled. So that's what was keeping us busy. Then there was groceries and then laundry, and it just seemed like every day where I thought about recording, there was just always something. Plus, I never quite knew when they're supposed to be turning our electric off for about 6 hours to do some upgrades. And I think the upgrades are going to be at the substation, I think. So I didn't want to start a video to then have the electric turned off. Oh, I'm out of your frame here. Sorry about that. Here we go. To then have the electric turned off. So that was the other reason I kind of have been holding off. Now, they still didn't do it. And today was supposed to be a turn the electric off day. And it's raining. So again, they didn't do it. So I thought, okay, I'm going to take the chance. So that's what we're doing today. And then of course, the technical difficulties that always occur. Always occur. Beyond a doubt. So some of you probably are going, Karen, oops, sorry, my scientific, there we go. Now I can see again. Karen, what are you doing now? Because the way you're jumping around here is making no sense. And you are probably 100% correct. It is making no sense. Well, I started a Facebook group for subscribers to the channel. If you would like to become a part of that, just search the groups for NeedleBugg Family. You must answer the questions in order to be admitted to the group. If you don't answer the questions, I will deny your request. And it's just my way of trying to protect people from scams and all of that good stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the partial block. I'm going color by color. I just picked up 823. So I stitched already all of 823 in this block. So now I will gradually frolic my way around to stitch any of the 823 until either I have to go too far, I have to jump too far, or I run out of thread. It kind of sort of reminds me of Nicola, Simply a Stitcher, of what she is doing on her the Amy Stewart one. Is it a stitch in time? Where she started at the top, but she's stitching a block and then she's just working that color across that row and dropping down when she needs to finish out her thread. Nicola, if you're watching this, my friend, please do correct me if I am wrong. But I think that's what you're doing, and I think it's a stitch in time. So I thought, okay, Karen, you're always up for trying something new. And at least with this method, you're not gonna travel extreme distances. Unless, of course, you got so few stitches of a color and you want to carry it from, say, here to way up here somewhere. But I'm not going to do that. I mean, I will carry, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to jump gigantic amounts away from where I'm stitching. So I thought, okay, we shall try this and see what happens. And if we don't like it, we can always switch to something else. Because it doesn't matter how you stitch it. The only way people can tell is by looking at the back. And Those of you who have been here for a while know that, Karen has many techniques on the back of her work. Very many different methods used, and the only way you can tell is the back of my work. So if I decide that, nope, this isn't working, well, then I'm just going to switch it to something else. And now that I think about it, I just watched the other day a video by Stitching Mommy, Sarah. And Sarah was doing, I believe, pretty much the exact same thing, where instead of like the typewriter where she was going all the way across with the color, she started filling in a block and then meandering to use up the thread if she didn't have to jump too far. So I'm kind of thinking, and again, I could be wrong, but it sort of seems like she's doing this same thing. So again, there's many, many paths to the same outcome. Many paths. We all will get there a different way. Well, some of us will use somebody else's technique, but for the most part, it's called do your own thing. Do what works for you. And be happy with be happy with what you're doing. That's all it's really all about. No judgment. I just find it interesting to watch some of these stitch with me's with all the different methods that people are using. And bottom line, when you look at their finished project, you would be hard pressed to tell the different methods because they all look great from the front. And isn't that what matters? In fact, I was talking to somebody, and I can't even remember who it was or where. It might have been on the Zoom that a lot of people like to watch Kamari, and Kamari has her own style. God bless her. She is one heck of a stitcher. Wow. She can put out a project in no time. And like I said, everybody's different. Everybody does their own thing, and that is okay. There are people that are horrified by the back of her work because it is like a carpet, and you know what? And that's fine. Because when they're in a frame and you look at hers, and she has a video of a lot of finished projects, you will never tell, or you could never tell, that the back is the way the back is. And you know what? Good for her. Good for her. She stitched in a way that made her happy. That lady can really stitch fast. I'm enamored by the fact that, she can just glance at that chart and then sit here and go and stitch and go over here and tap everything off, and it doesn't appear that there's mistakes. I can't read my chart that fast, let alone read it, stitch it, and mark it off. I just can't do it that fast. What you see here is about as fast as I'm going to get. I don't get much faster. Yeah, this is about as fast as I stitch, because when I glance over here at the chart and then come back, till I get back here, it's like, okay, all right, it was that many, but I mean, I can't remember 20 stitches or 30 stitches at a shot to be able to stitch a whole big section of, say, this 823. That ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna carry on here a little bit yet. Okay, where was I? Oh, here. Okay. Oh, what a day. So hopefully that was just my monitor doing that and the video is still okay. In fact, I wonder if that was, oh, I wonder if that was my monitor turning itself off because it was not active. You can't see this, but I'm going to look here and um, okay, that ain't it. I have to find display, home, Bluetooth, personalize your device, color mode. No, I don't want that. I want to power. Maybe it's there. Screen and sleep. I bet it was that. I bet. I bet that's what it was. We'll see now. I changed it. It was probably my screen wanting to go to sleep. But that's just a guess. Well, and the good news is at least it's my camera isn't taking a break. It seems to be okay at this point. Uh, all the technical things. See, this recording videos is not as easy as some people may tend to think that it is. It's it can be a bit challenging at times. Just watch this channel long enough and you'll figure it all out. That, yes, it is a challenge. Yeah, so we shall see. We shall see. So anyway, yeah, I'm attempting to do something different once again. And so far, it's not too bad. Now, these little things are threads that are going to get stitched over because I'm too lazy to flip the stand. Oh, and that surprises you why? Oh, speaking of the stand, here we go, a little loose associations. I got my Dubco table stand just in time to take along to the retreat. And I really do like it. I really do like it. In fact, it's what I'm stitching on or using at the moment for this, to put this scroll frame on. Um, At the retreat, however, that's going to take a little more fine tuning and probably depending what device you're using to stitch. Like, are you using a scroll, or are you using a hoop, or are you using a Q-snap? Okay, it's going to depend on that. But the bigger thing that it will depend on is how much space you have at the table. Because here's what happens. And this is by no means a complaint. It is just a statement of fact of what I found. So I had my hoop holder in front of me, and I had the project in a hoop, like probably about an 8-inch hoop. Now, there were 7 of us around this big round table. So picture that. And then, of course, you have all your, supplies that you need, like your tablets or your charts or your scissors and your stuff. Okay? So, because of the limitations of the room at the table, I'm stitching here on a hoop. I had to put my iPad back here behind the table stand. I could not see the iPad. There was not enough room without taking somebody else's space to put the iPad angled at the side so that I could see it. That wasn't going to happen. And still have place for my little box with my scissors and stuff in it. So they're great. However, with setting your stand on the table, there was not enough room for everything. With using the clamp so that you could clamp it onto the table, which is why I bought the clamp, so that I could clamp it onto the table and then hopefully have room back here on the table to put those things. A fabulous idea. But again, what happened was, with the clamp on, with whatever accessory you were going to use to stitch with, whether it be the arms to stitch with scroll rods, or whether it be the clamp to stitch with a hoop, till you positioned your project so that you were comfortable stitching. Again, your iPad was too far away. Your tools were too far away. So you could get everything there. However, you couldn't reach it. Yeah. So it's going to take a little bit to come up with just how to do that. If you were stitching from paper, you would have no trouble at all, because you could lay your paper pattern right on your hoop or scroll. You could have it right there. You could mark it off right there. And you would have room then for just your tools, accoutrements, in the area, either aside or in front, that you weren't migrating into somebody else's space. Now, granted, we had one more person at our table than what they anticipated, or the number of people they felt were going to, or they recommended be at a table, which was fine, which was absolutely fine. No problem at all. However, that did take up extra room, so that part of it was a challenge. So, other than that, I love these stands. So far, these are the ones. Did you see that? My phone just did it again. So far, these are the ones. These are the keepers. The other reason, the biggest reason they are the keepers is the fact that it's so versatile. You can put a hoop on it. You can put a Q-snap on it. You can put a scroll rod on it. And even the table stand, you can put a scroll rod on that is super, super long. And it will hold it. I was going to use my 110 centimeter quantum frame, and it would have held that. And it would not have tipped front. So right there is a plus, plus, plus. Right there. The versatility here far exceeds some other stands that I have had. The sofa stand, I really do like that also. My only issue, but I think I have adjusted now that it will work, is my only issue with that is the fact that if you're sitting in your recliner or a reclining sofa, because my sofa is not wide enough, the seat is not long enough to accommodate the legs of the sofa stand. I need to have it front further, and it would be off the edge of the sofa. So my footrest, when it comes up, needs to be at least as wide as the area that I'm sitting, which on my sofa it is not. But on my recliner, it is, and it seems to be working when I sit in the recliner. So I will be using it there, which is where I like to sit to stitch anyway. The only problem is if I want to watch TV, I can't see the TV up over it. But that's okay too, because 9 times out of 10, I'm not watching it anyway. I'm just listening. So I really, really do like that also. So I will be doing a video at some point to do a review on them. But I will say, so far, I do like them. I do like both of them, and I don't regret buying them. These are, to date, the ones that I find that I like the best out of all the stands I've had at one point or another. Now, I wish someone would just bite the bullet and make a stand rent-a-center so that you could rent one for a week or 2 weeks. Try it, send it back before you purchase. Would that not be the ideal thing? That would be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful idea. But it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But yes, if this stand would have been phenomenal if we would have had just a little bit more space. But then you weigh the other side of that, but look at all the fabulous people we met. So, you know what? I'll sacrifice some space for some brand new friends. So, yeah, it was a blast. Okay, now that I have to put two videos together because I think the other one was something happened. So I will have to edit these and put them together. And this one's already at a bit past a half an hour. And I'm thinking that one was probably about the same. I think we will call this a day today. And hopefully I will be back with you really soon. I think things are now settling down, that I can get back to a more regular schedule again. What I'd like to do is work on this with you at least once a week, maybe twice. One of them may not be a talking. One of them may be to music. Because I run out of things to talk about, folks, believe it or not. Trying to come up with things isn't always happening. So one of them might be music. The other one would be a talkie. Okay. And then you'll get some update ones every now and again. I am trying to limit myself to the number of projects to work on, because I am trying to teach myself those new lace embroideries. So you'll get some videos on follow that journey. Yeah, you'll get a little bit of variety, a little bit of everything. So I'm kind of limiting what I'm working on so that I can at least see some progress somewhere along the line. Because let me tell you, progress the month of December has been non-existent. Truly non-existent. Didn't really have progress on much of anything. So there won't be an update video for not December, January. Oh my God, it's going to be February soon. I don't know where it goes. But January's progress is slim to nothing. So give you the heads up on that. So we'll look at doing the Stitch With Me's and maybe throw in a quick progress report at some point or another throughout our time together. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, can't think of anything else today. So we're going to call this one a wrap. And I hope all of you have, what's today, Thursday, coming up on the weekend. I hope you all have a wonderful stitchy weekend. I know here our weather is probably going to be rain. Rain today, probably rain tomorrow. Is it spring yet? I know. Whatever we have, we want the opposite. So with that, people, I am going to bid you farewell and hope you have a great stitchy week or weekend. And do remember, there are no rules in cross stitch, only the ones you set for yourself. So until next time, take care, be safe, and I will see you in the next video.